featherweight division, we have some known, pretty established fighters. Javante Tank Davis, Shakur Stevenson. Those are really the top guys right there. Vasil Lomachenko. Those are pretty much the creme de la creme, elite dudes. Then you got some dudes that's a step below them. Frank Martin, Barinchyk. Even though Barinchyk he's a champ. Just saying. You got Williams Zepeda. Dudes like that. Edwin De Los Santos, Ray Maritaya, those type of dudes. Then you got the fresh crop of dudes, man. And 4 dudes in particular that I like to call the 4 monsters of 135. Kean Davis, Kid Austin, a.k.a. Floyd Scofield, Abdullah Mason, and Andy Cruz. All right, so these are the dudes that's supposed to be they're going to be the ones that's going to be next up in the division. When the other dudes get undisputed and they leave, those belts are going to be up for grabs by those guys. Similar to what happened with Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. They moved up and they left the belts. Well, for the most part, most of the belts. And they left them for the next crop of dudes to go get. Such as Jaron Ennis, Stanley Jonas, Brian Norman Jr., those type of dudes. So let's take a slight little glance at these 4 monsters, these youngsters coming up. All of these dudes are under 20 wins. They're still developing, so to speak, but they all show different characteristics of monsterisms in them, so to speak. So let's talk about Abdullah Mason real quick. So Abdullah Mason, he just came off of a win last weekend. Got a 3rd round knockout, of Luis Lebron. Brutal knockout. Abdullah Mason's, he's touted as next up in the division. He likes to fight. He wants to smoke with all of the dudes of the division. Some will say, don't rush this kid yet, but he is touted as going to be one of the top dogs at 135. Once Tank and Loma, Shakur, and Barinchyk and all them, they take care of what they need to take care of, and they scramble out of the division or whatever, defend their titles, I guess, for a minute or do whatever they're going to do. Abdullah Mason is definitely one that people are watching really close. He's at 14 wins, no losses, 12 big wins by knockout, 85% knockout ratio, 20 years old. Shows great ring generalship, long arms, very strong kid, good IQ, good defense. Definitely some things need to be worked on, but nonetheless, at this age, he's looking promising, so to speak. And the last dude he fought, his record was 20-5, so not too bad. His last 3 opponents, actually, let me go back to the last 5. Ronald Roan, 14-5 before he got to him. Benjamin Gurman, 8-0. And then Jose Cardenas, 7-1, and Cesar Villarraga, 10-7. So a lot of these dudes that he's fighting, they don't have terribly bad records, and he's already about to fight again. He's fighting again. The kid is busy. Abdullah Mason is extremely busy. In 2023, the kid had 5 fights in 2023, man. 5 fights. 2022, he had 5 fights. Okay, he just started boxing in 2021. He's extremely busy. And then in 2023, 2024, he's already had 3 fights, man. This is his 4th fight against a guy named Augustine Quintana. He's fighting him in Canada in August. All right, extremely quick turnaround. He just got through fighting in July. So this kid's putting in work. He's getting his experience in. This is good. This is a good sign. You like to see these dudes really busy. This is busy, man. 4 and 5 fights a year. That's really good. Okay, that's really good. So it's not like he's fighting dudes that's 22 and 15 and 30 and 30 wins and 18 losses. He's not fighting those type of dudes. So Abdullah Mason, definitely one to watch. Kean Davis, he's another one of the young monsters at 135. He has 11 wins, no losses, 7 wins by knockout. He's rocking with 63% knockout ratio, so he has pretty decent punching power. 5'9" in height, 25 years old, 70-inch arm reach, okay? He started boxing back in 2021, just like Abdullah Mason. Kean, he just came off a fight this weekend. Got the UD over an extremely tough opponent in Miguel Madueno. That was probably one of Kean's hardest fights. He showed grit. He stayed poised, even though the dude was trying to play wrestling. He's trying to play WWE with him in that ring. Kean showed some grit, while he also showed that he's not going to be bullied. Okay. Kean is more of a interesting character because he's very vibrant. He likes to talk. He likes to, boast a lot, which is good. We need that. We need that, man. I like Kean. He's one of my favorite up-and-coming fighters. He showed that he has good IQ because, he gets trained by Bomac. So he got Bud in his corner and Bomac in his corner and Andre Ward in him. So he's going to have a great ring IQ. He stayed relaxed in that fight where this guy had an extremely good chin, and he wasn't trying to go down for nothing, but Kean was piecing him up and breaking him up in that whole fight, and he stayed right there with him, and that's what you like to see. And then his last 5 fights, the records of those dudes, the last 2 was really step-ups. The biggest name on his record right now would be Jose Pedraza. That would be the biggest name so far, okay, out of his 11 fights, okay. Pedraza was 29-5 before he met him. Nahir Albright was another tough fight for him, but he stuck that one out. That was a no contest. Something went down with Kean, popped for weed in his system. Come on, silly shit. But that dude was 16-2 before Kean fought him. Francesco Patero was 28-3. And then you had that dude Anthony Yiggett, who a lot of people call a bum. He was 26-2 before Kean fought him. Yiggett is just a punching bag, but Yiggett still comes to fight. He don't come to lay down. He was giving Rolly a little bit of work before Rolly knocked him out, but Kean ended up knocking him out in the 9th round. So Kean is definitely another one to watch. Pay attention to him. He's going to be a champion, definitely at this weight class. And him and Abdullah Mason these dudes are going to be on a collision course to fight each other soon. So this is going to be 135 is the division to watch, man. Now we're going to talk a little bit about Andy Cruz. Andy Cruz, he has the smallest, he has the less experience out of all these 4 dudes, the 4 monsters. And he only has 3 wins, no losses, 1 knockout on his record. So 33% knockout ratio, 28 years old, 5'9". Not sure what his arm reach is, but he's a tall dude. Tough Cuban fighter. Them Cubans, they can fight, man. Andy Cruz, he's tied to Kean Davis because They had some amateur. Uh, they have an amateur background together. They fought each other in the amateurs. A lot of people believe Kean Davis don't want no parts of Andy Cruz in the pros because Andy Cruz, according to the people that like Andy Cruz, smoked Kean Davis, so to speak, being that Kean Davis lost to Andy Cruz 3 times in the Olympics. So, yeah, they might want to run. They definitely gonna have to run that back in the pros for sure. Okay, Andy Cruz, he just turned pro last year. I didn't even know. I thought he had more fights than that, but yeah, he only has 3 fights. So he's up and coming, man. He's definitely up and coming. Okay, so his 3 opponents, and he's about to fight actually August 3rd on Terrence Crawford's card against Antonio Moran, which is a good fight for him. That's the same guy that Devin Haney, I believe, knocked out cold in 2018. I ain't never gonna forget that knockout. That was like Devin threw everything into that punch, boy. But his other 3 opponents that he fought already. One dude was 14-2, 20. The other dude, Giovanni Straffin, was 26-5, and the guy, his first fight, Juan Burgos, was 35-7. So never really heard of these dudes, but it is what it is. He's starting low and he's moving up through the circuit, man. This is the way they do. Okay, so Andy Cruz, I'm not really sure how his power is yet because he have to put some more fights in, but it stays at 33% knockout ratio. 1 knockout, 3 fights. So it's definitely going to go up, and Andy Cruz is somebody to watch. Definitely when it comes to him and Kean Davis, keep an eye on them two because they'll end up clashing eventually. And last but not least, we got my boy Kid Austin, man, aka Floyd Scofield. Okay, he's another one. 17 wins, no losses, 12 wins by knockout, 70% knockout ratio. 21 years old, 5'7". He's one of the youngest ones out of this bunch. He's 21 years old. Okay, so Floyd Scofield, a very bulldozer style. He comes forward, pressure fighter. Sometimes a little impatient when he fights, but he's still learning. Okay, he's still learning. Very strong kid. He's here to make some noise. Him and Kean Davis has been going back and forth on the internet. You might see some action between them in the future, and Abdullah Mason. So he's up there with them. He's up there with Abdullah and Kean. All right. So his last fight was in March. He doesn't have anything else scheduled right now. But his last fight was a disqualification. The guy he fought, Esteri Suero, that was a crazy fight, man. He left my boy bloody. He said, and what I liked about Kid Austin, he said he liked his blood. He liked his own blood, like tasting his blood. Dude is a little monster, man. He's a little beast, man. Got into one of them dirty fighters, man, that get frustrated in the ring when they can't do something with you and they want to start doing elbows and headbutts and all this other stuff. And Floyd Scofield got bust open and still kept fighting. That dude was 13-1 before Floyd got to him. And then Ricardo Lopez was 17-7. And then Haskell Rhodes was 28-4. And Jesus Leon was 23-1. So these dudes and these youngins, are not really fighting dudes with fucked up records like that. Floyd Scofield's first fight, not his first fight, his second fight in 2022, he fought somebody at 26-14. Sometimes you get those type of dudes, but nothing crazy. Floyd Schofield is on his way too. These dudes are the ones to watch. This is the next crop. These are the 4 little monsters of 135 pounds. These are dudes that's gonna be wrecking shit. These 4 right here. So pay attention to them, man. It's your boy Rebel Life Boxing. Let me know what you think. Catch y'all in the next one, and I'm off this.